Have you ever felt that you were late to the show, where you feel like everybody else have gotten a jump start on you, and here you are still trying to figure a way to get going, right? Everybody else is seem to have started 20 years ago, or and you are trying to catch up. And sometimes you feel frustrated, or even may not even get in the game because you're thinking, it's too late. The question is it too late? What is too late? I wrote a book called The Midlife Launch a few years back. And in this book, I shared the stories of so many people who seemingly started late in life. They are today revered as trendsetters, as groundbreakers. Colonel Sanders from Kentucky Fried Chicken is one. Martha Stewart is another. And it's on and on. There are so many people who really basically seem to have made it at a stage in their lives when people thought that it was too late. Some people start like me. I'm a late starter. I think that I was behind when I actually went back to school for my master's degree. And when I was thinking about doing that, I took quite a while. I debated, should I get back in college? And here's what happened. I would think, Kingsley, you're too old. You're going to be the oldest person in the classroom. Have that ever happened to you? Well, maybe not. And I'm thinking, well, all right. And here's what happened. 3 years, actually 3 years went by that I was thinking the same thing. And guess what? 3 years came, 3 years went, and I was still thinking that it's too late. Now, I could be doing that very thing right now and regretting and wishing wondering what if I had just. But I jumped in, and thank God I had some support in my life to help me to get going. And by doing that, I was able to accomplish, got my master's degree, got my, career jump started. And here I am, 14 years later or thereabouts and counting. So you might be wondering tonight and thinking that, should I start this? Should I start that? And you're thinking that it's late. But I want to share with you tonight, or share with you on this broadcast, that maybe it's not as late as you're thinking it is. And by the way, I'm Kingsley Grant, and just in case you're wondering, and I'm the host of The Kingsley Grant Show, a weekly podcast that talks about leadership and emotional intelligence, and where the skills intersect. And I talk to leaders about what they can do to become better at decision making, relationship management, and work performance. And if you're a leader in your home or in your workplace, a business owner, you may want to listen to the podcast. It's available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and other places as well. But I'm also a coach. So I coach people in leadership and in transition. So if you want to be coached in any area of that, you can also reach out to me. And I want to encourage you you can go and actually, I'm going to scroll across here at the bottom where you can actually be following me and connecting with me and all platforms, or the Kingsley Grant at Kingsley Grant or KingsleyGrant.com. But tonight I want to share with you and talk to you about this, which I believe, you're feeling is 20 years too late. Well, I want to share with you a Chinese proverb which you may have heard. And the proverb, it goes this way. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Second best time is now. So many people are thinking that, well, I should have started last year or 10 years ago or 5 years ago. Well, the fact is you can stay there and think about I should have and should have. But here's the thing. If you never get started, you're still going to be where you are 10 years later and still thinking that I should have. And I'm trying to say, what if we try to break that and get started? For example, this show I'm doing right here. A few days back, I was talking to some friends and I'm thinking, I want to get this live show going, but I just really was thinking, I keep on thinking about it not being perfect and not being just what am I going to talk about? And I just delayed and delayed and delayed and have delayed for quite a while. And I could have started this way back, but I never did. And I just decided to just jump in, to start. Because starting is really the key thing. Just get started. So I jumped in and I'm saying, I don't know everything I'm going to share on this show. Some nights I may bomb, right? But I'm in a group that really pushes idea of imperfect starts. You don't want to start perfect because if you start perfect, there's nowhere to go after that. Where can you go from perfect? Nowhere. So you want to start where you can grow and develop and should always be growing and developing. But you got to start at some point. So my question to you right now is what have you been delaying? What have you put off? What are you putting off and haven't started? Can I suggest to you, just start. Start imperfectly. Start imperfectly because you can get better at what you do. Everybody today who you admire, who's like, man, seem like they have it just so done right and have it all planned, it's executing so flawlessly. It wasn't that way. It wasn't that way. And they'll tell you it wasn't that way. But they've learned and they're still learning and getting better and getting better. Now, I have been putting off, for example, working with people like myself, clinicians, people in the mental health space who want to start a practice or who have a private practice, but it's trying to figure out a way how to monetize, how to earn more without adding more clients. And I've been debating that and debating about starting that because here it is. I have, like anybody else, who is going to want to listen to me? And so we have this imposter syndrome idea. We have this idea of like, come on, who do you think you are? And we question those things. But I realized that, we got to start somewhere. And what if I start with a group of people who we all can learn together? I might be just a little ahead of them than they are. And I can teach them what it is I do know. And as I learn more, I help them to learn as I learn. What better way to do that? So yes, it may be 20 years ago was the best time, but the second best time is now. So I started this group, and if you're interested, and if you are a mental health professional and you have a private practice and you're looking how to earn more money without adding more clients, that is one of those things that I know for me, I didn't want to add more clients to my already full plate because I want to preserve myself. I don't want to burn out. And so many people get burned out because they try to add more clients and they see 25, 30, 40 clients sometimes a week. I'm thinking, how do you do that? How do you do that? Because for me to see a client and sometimes at the end of a day, after seeing 5 or 6 clients, I'm mentally drained. I've given everything I've got because every client I show up and I give them my best. So seeing 7, 8 clients or 9 clients a day, well, some people are able, and my hat's off to you. But I decided to start a group to those who want to figure a way to earn more without adding more clients. And so I've created a Facebook group that's called Private Practice Mastery, where we're going to talk about this very idea of how to create digital products or online products, how to use social media more effectively, how to create a sales funnel where you can automatically, and this is true for anybody in business, right? Automatically generate funds almost like on an income generator. So that is where you can go. So if you know someone who's a mental health professional is looking for some ways to do that, send them over to Private Practice Mastery. Just put in private practice, you can find it, and just request to join. But my friend, I wanted to say to you tonight or today, as you're listening, if you're listening live, put hashtag live. If you're listening on a replay, put hashtag replay and let me know. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you think, what your thoughts are about this. I would love to hear your feedback. But remember this, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Join me in this journey. Again, if you're a mental health professional, make sure that you're requesting to join this group. Let's do this together. My friend, that's all I had to share tonight. So with that said, I'll see you. Peace out. God bless. And I'll see you on the flip side. Yeah.